Okay, hey guys, this is Sarah's night.
You're really bad at this.
And
You're very bad at this.
again.
You are very bad at this.
Okay, now come on. I clicked once.
No, then you clicked on the desktop
Oh,
afterwards.
yeah,
and you did it again!
Like I have to, I can't just take the mouse off. I have to click back on the desktop, to
And
make
losing the focus. And I love how for a second there you're like, you can't blame me, and then immediately do it while you're saying, oh, that's great. Anyways, hey guys, what's up? We're back with more Skies of Arcadia, Legends. The only difference between this and the, Dreamcast version is nothing. It's just this is on GameCube.
I'm sure I looked them up sometime, what the differences were, but I think there are a couple of... Probably, it was mostly about the side quests they added and stuff, I think. But I don't think there's actually, a difference in graphics. Okay, there was nothing...
That says a lot about the Dreamcast, because I think this looks great.
Yeah. But think of, I think this came out the same year on GameCube, and yeah, it's a port.
Yeah.
But compare this as a GameCube game to something like Resident Evil Remake then.
Right. And
how much better Resident Evil Remake is than that,
Dude,
and we find this good.
Resident Evil Remake looks better than a lot of games today.
Yeah. That's just so amazing about the graphical quality. Because it's not like this is bad.
That's also a good conversation. How we were talking about this yesterday when we were out at lunch, about how great it is right now to be a Resident Evil fan, because coming off the wings of Resident Evil 7, Resident Evil 2 Remake is coming out in January. That's freaking awesome. I'm super excited. And I also like the fact that Resident Evil 2 Remake is stylistically like Resident Evil 4, which, I mean...
That might inevitably take away from the creepy factor a little bit.
Yeah, maybe, but
which
I
can't
mean,
be helped,
I've seen
but I'm
a
sure,
lot of
but
gameplay.
it looks to me like it's going to be still more than good enough on, horror aspect.
The thing is, I think I wouldn't have minded.
Who's that? Oh wait, no, that's not Moonfish. That's an
item on the ground, right?
Cupid.
There it is.
Cupid. Just gotta keep running around.
But
pressing X.
Regardless, the style in Resident Evil 2.
Well, you know, I call it X.
Yeah.
Like it's a PlayStation controller. So everybody's being a dick to me right now and not wanting to talk because I haven't talked to the chief elder yet and let him know that I'm not at the Empire or something. Nobody likes the Empire, not even the guys who just now practically met them. Hey, you don't look like all tribal and Amazonish. Who are you? Anyway, go ahead.
She's probably a pirate that you're gonna have to fight. She's super strong.
That'd be interesting. Well, this looks like one right here. Who are you? What? Who are you? You've been a bad boy. It's payback time. I was quoting Tenchu. This is not good for my heart right now. I added a little coconut run to my Dr. Pepper just now. It's 10 in the morning. That wasn't a good idea.
What did you put in?
Maybe 5 tablespoons worth?
What the hell's that gonna do? That's not even a shot.
But it's making me feel all my heart percolating.
I would murder.
Whoa! What was that? Just immediate gloomy, downcast expression. Her eyes are shut and everything. To sunshine.
Yeah.
We did. We didn't bring up this problem before. Well, that was nice of Hans. You know, we should get him some money for that to help him repair his ship and all, you know? It'd be kind of like the code of honor thing to do among Blue Rogues.
Is that a ship? There ain't no repairing that.
Well, I admit I wasn't paying attention to the dialogue. When he said get back to work, and I know he's a fellow pirate, I thought he was talking about, like, repairing that ship so we can get out of here. Because he crashed here or something.
It looks like it was crashed there 100 years ago.
It does, kinda. So anyway, you were saying about RE.
Oh, I was just mentioning that I think I would have been happy regardless of the style they picked if they wanted to do it in the vein of Resident Evil 1 Remake, or if they wanted to do it in the gameplay style of Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
I think either way would have made me happy. I like both.
Yeah, and we were talking about, like, what's our favorite RE games. Atlantis, mostly on sentimentality, which is fine, because, I mean, it's still a good game regardless. His favorite is Code Veronica.
Yeah.
Which, again, most people would assuredly pick RE4. But mine is RE Remake.
Yeah.
RE4 being in second place. And then I think RE2, Original, and then Code Veronica, actually. And most RE games are good. So that's...
Especially Gaiden.
So that's a pretty... So that's a pretty high compliment to be in 4th place out of all the RE games, Code Veronica. I think I give Code Veronica 8 or maybe 8.5 out of 10.
Good gracious.
Oh god, I remember that
Oh,
as soon as
man.
yeah, the awful misshapen.
Look, if you're not going to wear a bra, at least stop gesturing in such a manner.
Like, I just now remembered that as it came up, and it always just like, ugh, whenever you come across her.
Just...
It's like, okay, look, you can't help that your body is misshapen, but have some courtesy, respect to the sensibilities of others. Oh, well, she's willing to help me out. Actually give us a room for the night.
I think that was a he.
It was?
I think. I can't tell.
Okay, I think this is the dude we're supposed to talk to here.
Nice eyebrows.
Those are some eyebrows, in fact. And to think that we used to make fun of, what's his name?
Mm-hmm.
From Tekken, Hideki? You know that dude.
Heihachi?
Heihachi, yeah. I was closer the first time. Hitachi.
By the way, you gotta admit, that is some crazy support those eyebrows have, considering they still have that arch in it, but they're weighted on the end.
Yeah. What are those weights about? What are they?
Yes.
He might actually be talking about the golem by the giant.
Most likely.
Oh, so they're asking me if I'm gonna be like their savior or something. They're like, are you Quetya? I thought they were like asking in fear, like, are you of the Empire? Because they're dicks.
They're just misunderstood.
Well, and of course, technically, we do become their Quetya messenger or savior guys, because we drive off Alua by the end of all this.
Spoilers! You gotta understand, man, people care
Yeah.
about spoilers, SK.
I also
You just
care.
spoiled it.
I also care about world peace, hungry people sleeping in the dust and riddled with disease, starvation, wars, you
And
know.
spoilers.
I don't know why I like just squeaking a chair sometime by rocking back and forth.
I've been trying to get rid of that squeak for a while.
I don't know if anybody can hear it, but
No, I don't. I think I have the threshold of the mic turned up to the point where that won't pick up.
fire-breathing iron ships. So we go to Sacred Mountain now. Wow. Lou must have been here a while to accomplish all that.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, sir. You've been talking to us this entire time. I haven't heard a word you said because your eyebrows, sir. Just
Can't hear you over your eyebrows.
I can't hear you over your eyebrows. Can I touch them?
There you go. See, Vyse knows diplomacy and shit. He's a good man. He's like all bowing and deferential. I'm like, please let us help you. And Trackman's basically being the Donald Trump of this conversation.
No, he's basically ruined. Like, if the Elder heard him say that, he'd be like, "Get out of my village."
Those look like some kind of like cyber age floppy disk kind of things.
Cyber age, really old technology.
Yeah, I think what I meant by cyber, it was just the first word that came to mind, was like real futuristic techno. Maybe that was it.
Futuristic ancient technology. Little
Well, see, those will store like hundreds of terabytes of data.
But it's still a floppy.
Yeah. So we have to bring back floppy drives on computers in order to be able to use them.
And it takes 3 years to write data to. But you have all the storage
Man,
in the
to
world.
think how long, I mean, I was definitely one of the last people to quit using floppy drives.
What
To
were
think,
you
like,
using
pretty
them
much all my... It was just stuff before I discovered, you know, music files and downloading stuff off of YouTube, videos. It was like the only things only really kind of data I had was like pictures of anime girls and all the documents of stuff that I wrote, you know, in my childhood and stuff, like the Legends of Frostinia crap. And that stuff is, you know, in the kilobytes of data range. So I somehow still found a use for it all the way up until like 2005. The last laptop I had actually still had a, you know, floppy drive. It was built in.
So you
use just... like Windows, and actually, but use like Windows XP, even though you think like just that sounds like a operating system that's actually way too new for computers that would still have floppy drives developed in them.
I mean, Windows 10 would support a floppy drive. What the is he doing?
Oh yeah, the guy pretending to be a bird. Sure. Kia-ha! Aha! A golden man to the north. I see a golden man. That might be a discovery.
Then he's already discovered it. He's talking about it.
He just says that's what he sees. He didn't actually go there and find it. Or that it might actually be the location of the second dungeon in this saga. What?
Did you not hear it?
Ah. So we need to. Bring, bring. I like the when you get close enough to capture it, you. Bring, bring, bring. It's a noise. Okay, so I just got a Pinata seed. What does that raise? It's a stat thingy.
Power.
Let's give it to Ika just to... Oh. Needs to eat a cham. And he became a cupel cone.
Does that replace the cutlass?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think the animation, the attack animation is a lot faster too, so I'm kind of happy for that. Just for some reason, I always just kind of got on my nerves how slow hers was in comparison to everybody else. I believed in Quetia. Or maybe it's Kaya. Sounds like something that would be like really pretentious the way you pronounce it, where the T would be silent somehow.
Might be Q-Top.
Who knows? Oh yeah, something else, dude. A blast from the past other than, excuse me? That would've been funny if they heard that.
No, the mic is...
You heard the chair vibrate, though.
Oh yeah.
Pretty nice. On the way up here, not just playing, on this trip, not just playing Final Fantasy on DS, but, remember Dragoon, the anime?
Yeah, the incompleted series that
you know, like
mostly about, hey, how many times can we get this girl naked?
Yeah, and of course these days, you know, I'm like so much more cynical, and I find stuff to gripe about, or at the very least, I'm gonna make fun of it, even if I'm not like seriously mad about it, you know. So I'm finding, since I haven't, you know, seen or heard that anime in years, but I used to watch it all the time as a kid. For some reason, just the whole fantasy aspect was good enough for me. But now, you know, I'm just like, I converted to an MP3 just to have something to listen to on the way up here. Just something kind of different, and it's so funny just hearing everything that's going on. I'm picturing it perfectly because I saw it so many times as a kid. I can still remember everything that's going on and picture it well. And I'm like, what? Really? Why are you doing that? You know, just kind of finding stuff to make fun of. But I still do wish, for all of its faults, I wish they had continued it, but I guess it just wasn't popular. I would have liked to.
Not enough bare anime titties.
I guess not. I guess not enough. Not enough nudity. Because, dude, in comparison to now, especially these days, that is definitely not. That's actually not a lot of new content at all. I mean, it seems to be like the culture, like maybe starting about 10 years ago or so. That's ballpark estimate. They'll come up with all sorts of perverted stuff that's not quite pornographic. So just about anybody will be able to get their hands on it. You'll just go to any anime streaming site and you'll probably see all of it. And it's amazing all the crazy perverted stuff you'll find. Dragoon is nothing.
Yeah, why don't you tell me about all
that.
this crazy perverted stuff you watch?
This crazy island.
No? Nothing?
Dude, I admit Queen's Blade was interesting in that regard. I did watch that.
See, I don't really watch that much anime these days. Like,
neither do I. I think I watch less than you.
But
at least when it
what
comes
I
to...
do watch is at least tactful, or at least has.
I don't think you, dude. It doesn't have to be like non-hentai or non-ecchi or however you want to call it. Ooh, Moonberry.
Perverse, I guess. It doesn't, I usually do.
Perverted. It doesn't have to be like not perverted in order to be.
If I want to see
tactful
porn, there is many sites readily available at my fingertips for that kind of garbage. I don't need it in movies and video games and the media I consume. Like, I'd rather that it spend its resources being, you know, actually good.
Oh god, this whole time I could have. I thought Delta, not Delta, or maybe it is Delta Shield. Yeah, I thought that was 2 Moonberries. I could have had it this whole time. I just now got a Moonberry. It's like, oh, I should have 2 now, so now I can get that. I do need to spend more time, because I barely touch anime. For like the past 5 to 10 years, I barely touch. I need to like go back over old stuff I got that as a kid I liked and I still like.
Like?
Magic Knight Rayearth. Not 2. Chill out.
Dude, it's all bad.
No, it's not. Oh, dude, you were crazy. The first season is a good classic fantasy. You know, I think you're just trying to sound cool.
No, I think you're just leaning into that because I don't like something you like.
You sure did like it back when I liked it as a kid.
I am not a fan of Clamp anymore. I hate the art style, and the story is not classic. It's the old, same freaking relate.
Do you even know other anime by Clamp?
Chobits?
Now, when did you hate Chobits? This is new to me.
I like that crap back when I was a horny little kid.
Clamp is not known for porn, or even like the ecchi stuff.
The entire series of Chobits is about a dude getting it on with his computer. He never.
Am I thinking about the same thing?
I'm not saying he actually did it, but there is designed sexual tension between him and his.
Seriously,
the fucking power switch to her is in her vagina.
Oh yeah.
Are you You gotta be fucking kidding me.
Dude, calm down. Jeez, man.
Well, I mean, you really like to hide
But
behind this. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. This isn't the way this is. You don't remember anything. And then I'm like,
okay, is that like one ecchi kind of anime that they did? Because I don't know of anything else.
well,
I am not ashamed to say I'm still Magic Knight Raider fan.
I'm not
Okay,
saying we
Ruin
should be
Explorers. Do you
insane.
remember that? That was. That's a good
I
little.
remember the name.
Okay. Well,
Was that the?
with you would have definitely liked this back then. So please don't try to act all cool now. Oh man.
All right, motherfucker. Motherfucker, I am not trying to.
Cat girl.
I
I
am not trying to act all cool. This is the opinion I have. If you get the impression this is me trying to be cool, I am sorry. That is not what I'm trying to do. If my opinion now is not up to your standards and what you think I should feel, I am sorry. I am not trying to be
just this
so cool.
This all changed without me knowing it somehow.
Oh yeah, it just crazily changed out of nowhere over the past 20 years.
20 years, bull crap.
Yeah, that's a sudden change.
Okay, you remember like in fact it was like two names from Final Fantasy V which I really like. They had the crazy merchant Galuf and his dog Gil, and then like Fam the cat girl and Lyle the prince, and they were like on a quest to defeat this evil sorcerer who like destroyed Lyle's kingdom because he used to be the prime minister there or whatever, and went crazy and all power hungry and destroyed it.
And this is a Final Fantasy V anime?
No, it was like Final Fantasy, the reminder of Final Fantasy V because of Galuf and Gil. So you don't remember Ruin Explorers?
No.
That's a nice little anime.
I'm afraid I don't. Like the old anime series that I can remember.
Because back then I was your hookup for it.
Yeah, you were.
Alright, well, let's go to freaking... Can't find a weapon shop for the life of me. So...
Isn't this just how to get the berry? Like...
Yeah, I just now realized that as I was going across, but it's not like you could stop in reverse. Reminds me of that forest level in Threads of Fate. Those platforms you go across between treetops. Oh, that's you.
Yeah, that's me. I'm surprised you can actually hear that.
Ugh. I can't find my way out of town now.
Yeah, it seems to be the case. 3 years later, after climbing this ladder. You just got cheap.
Like, I won't seriously count it against a game.
Is that it? Is that it right there?
Yeah. I won't seriously count it against a game. Unless it's just already bad in other ways. Like, in many other ways. But slow ladder climbing is such a just an annoying thing.
Yeah. I agree.
Okay, like, Rurouni Kenshin, would you say you still like that?
I don't know. It's been so long since I've seen it. As far as what I remember of it, I think I would still like it. I'd probably be a lot more critical over the whole formulaic thing that it's when it comes to like you finally get to the big bad and they're about to fight somebody. How it's all like more talking and so little fighting, and it's more like I've got to describe the science behind this attack before I do it. And how it's going to totally destroy you.
Actually, fairly recently, I remember kind of talking about as I was going through it, like a couple of years ago, I actually went through pretty much all of Rurouni Kenshin again. Of course, now that it definitely the realization of all the talking during fighting and how improbable all the skills sound in the first place.
Despite being thoroughly explained.
Yeah. I still love Futai no Kiwami though.
Yeah, but remember, you can cancel a Futai no Kiwami by hitting somebody from the opposite side with a Futai no Kiwami. Oh!
Yeah, like the two forces cancel each other out somehow without doing severe damage to your insides.
You know what would happen instead? Your Ghibli bits would just explode twice as far away from your center of mass than it would if you just got hit with one.
Probably. Your
Ghibli bits. That's
Ghibli bits.
When you like give in every direction.
Okay, we are looking for Sacred Mountain, and I could swear, and I keep getting confused between the menu button and the map button. I could swear it was somewhere like in southwest portion. So please help me look for that.
What am I looking for? What am I visually looking for?
Like any kind of building-looking thing. It's called Sacred Mountain. It's like a giant moonstone mine that the Empire took over. God, of all games, there should have been the ability to, you get an item or something or a skill that enables you to just turn off random encounters where you can just freely fly about to find something that you've been trying to find.
Oh, you want to go back to Octopath Traveler for just 5 seconds. You know what the item you get from beating the final optional boss in the game is?
What?
The ability to turn off encounters.
That's when you get it?
Yep.
When you've basically done everything there is to do by
it. Then you can turn off random encounters. But why?
That's BS.
Yeah. And you also get a paltry sum of money. Like, money that by this point in time game means nothing to you.
Move! Give me strength!
It's $100,000 and an accessory that turns off random encounters.
For the audience, he just flipped off the screen after saying that.
I'm gonna sweep your face.
Yeah.
Give me strength!
I like how that does 10 times as much damage as guys smacking you over the head with lead batons at the beginning of the game. I know, I like to keep putting stuff in perspective like that.
Yeah, you do.
That was easy.
Pardon.
Got a black map. What's that again?
A black map. I don't see it.
Might be an accessory, yep.
Also improves chances for first strike. Oh. That doesn't seem like a great accessory. Not unless it procs frequently.
Just unless you get some kind of particular... This should be it right here.
Isn't that just town?
Yeah, it is for Taka. Wow. I was flying in totally the opposite direction I meant to go.
If only there were a compass on screen that would help you, guide you in the direction you wish to go.
I know, I thought I was going south and... was it?
There was just on screen 100% of the time.
Back up off my nuts.
Some kind of device that would tell you the direction you're going in. That would like signify.
See, I was heading in this direction first. Now how did I turn myself? Here it is, right here. Now you'll shut up.
Oh, will I?
Thank God. Arr.
Arr.
know you see that bit of a lag time there when you know that means that you're going to be able to do a counter?
Yep. And you're like, oh, good. Thanks. Take.
Get him!
That was easy.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, things to talk about there for a second.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I was planning on giving you a little bit harder time about not being able to continue south despite having a compass on screen.
Well, I'm sorry to have ruined your plans.
Yeah, you did. Now we gotta figure out how we actually can dock here. Because it's like, we're here. Nope. Well, that's annoying.
Did I, like, miss talking to somebody in town that was uber important? Because, I mean, I know the Elder told me about, you know, Sacred Mountain and the Empire taking over here, so...
Correct.
What do I need to do?
What? I do not know.
That's fine, more experience for me. He's just gonna be caught up in the crossfire of Pyre.
Yep. Burn!
Yeah, it's like when you see their attack, the attack text lag there for a second, you know, oh, that means it's about to say counterattack.
Move! Give me strength!
Excuse me. One thing I can't wait to get to in this game is the Dark Rift.
Oh, yeah?
It's so creepy, though. But it's like, that's what draws me to it.
Strength!
Yeah, same reason why people like to watch horror movies or play scary video games. It's part of being a human where
That
Not everyone is okay.
reminds me of a Spoon's review of the Ring Terror's Realm. Because, you know, the whole thing leading up into the review was talking about is like, there's actually not a lot of good scary games in terms of like actually being scary, in his opinion. And he called Resident Evil that overrated 6-pack of diet scary shit.
Well, I'm assuming he meant like what, 6?
No, he was talking about the very first RE, actually.
It was a little spooky.
I thought it was funny. I think it was something like, you know, everybody talking, I guess because of the goofiness of the voice acting and all, you know, really takes away from it. Of course, I wouldn't have it any other way. But talking about, like, it's what we were talking about yesterday. It's like, if you have just jump scares, and obviously that's how we saw it, I don't see it that way, RE1. Especially the remake. The remake was fantastic in terms of atmosphere.
Yeah.
But if you see nothing but jump scares, well, then there's no horror aspect at all. Because it's just startling, period, and that's all you're going to get out of it.
Startling was not horrific.
So, you know,
Give me strength!
in his circle, he was talking about, like, how everybody would be like, oh, you know, when the dogs first jumped through the window, like, the first jump scare in the game, you know, that was so scary. And he's like, no, that's just, you know,
that's
startling, jump scare. And I mean, I don't think he was saying it like, he wasn't saying it like super hateful. Oh, God, he got Pyrum. Hell yeah. Saying it's like he seriously hated it, or isn't he? It's just, I thought it was just funny. Overrated 6-pack of diet scary shit. But anyway, main point was, though, because when he got into actually reviewing the Ring Terror's Realm, I remember just the, like, the goofy voice acting moments in the dialogue. Just, you okay, lady?
You okay, lady?
And my personal favorite was when the main bad guy was explaining his motivations to what he ultimately wanted to do and everything to the protagonist. And she just, you bastard!
With a smile on her face.
Hell yeah. Okay, seriously. It looks like this would be...
But Dalla Jelly is by far the best thing about that review.
Oh, well, yeah.
I don't understand why we can't go in. And these random encounters aren't helping!
Here we go. I guess I didn't press X before anywhere. I did this time, so...
We shouldn't get close, boy.
Okay, where do we dock?
No. Dracula just said we shouldn't be here.
Alright, after this bout, we're gonna have to look up what I missed, because I must have missed something.
Here goes!
Moons, give me strength.
This ought to be nice. Yeah, it is the 3rd out of 4 levels up spell on Pyram.
Yeah.
Serves up right.
Gotta make that fire barrier.
Around the med packs.
Okay, actually, is that the 4th or... 4th or 5th spell in the series for it? Nope, just at 4. So we still got a little bit of ways to go on red. And where are we at on... Fina on... Yeah. Actually, it's good. The next one up, and it's probably going to be a while because it's so valuable.
Yeah.
But it is Rise of Limb, I believe, the one that definitely will revive and full HP. And then Eternities and Eternum after that, and Eternum can actually be good sometimes because it definitely will fail an enemy. So if you got one of those battles where you're up against like a random enemy that just has like a lot of HP and you just don't want it to take forever, done. Eternum it is. Okay, so I have to pause here for a second and...
Well, I don't think OBS has a pause ability. It's just start and stop.
Off screen and look up what's going on, what we need to do. Okay, so what we freaking missed.
Why? Do you do it every time?
It's, I'm sorry. Automatic reactions are hard to break out of the habit of. Okay, so this place we went to before, and the high priest was like, go away. You're bad guys or something from faraway lands. Did we notice that stone around her neck before?
Yes. I think we specifically mentioned how it's weird she's wearing a Moai head pendant.
But yeah, it was like, that's the king's hideout after he was wounded in battle with the Empire. So now we gotta like talk to him and convince him.
There's an easy button on the ship right there.
Oh.
You see it?
Yeah.
Right down there. It's an easy button.
Oh, we already get our first fight with De Loco here, if I recall. He literally has like a giant
flame,
like the homemade flamethrower from RE7,
and it's just on an arm.
Yeah. So we'll defeat De Loco here and gain the king's trust, and it'll be like, oh, okay, well, I give you permission to rescue my people from Sacred Mountain.
Permission.
Which was kind of what I was wanting to do in the first place, to get things moving along.
I don't think this ship looks like it's something from Mega Man Legends.
It kind of does. I wonder, is there like a special fluid in there that his head needs to be immersed in at all times?
It doesn't look like there's fluid in there at all.
He's real animated.
Couldn't tell.
Dude, I think you're, like, way off point if that's what you're trying to find. If I recall, it was actually across the way in the northwest part, near where the gate leading out of the kingdom is.
So, we were talking about something off camera that I think would be worth mentioning. I'd probably mention this story. So why is there a smiley face on his helmet?
I just now noticed that. Just more imagery pertaining to his madness.
I guess so. But SK's had a problem with spilling things on the floor recently. Like,
actually, I always have.
Yeah, like
I really
which is
have.
great now that you're getting into like reds, well, like red wine. Which,
yeah.
It's a wonderful thing to spill on the carpet, but at least it wasn't as bad as this one roommate I had back in my college years.
Yeah, like, I said, oh crap, because I fumbled something else, and, like, Landis turned around, he's like, man, better not be, like, spilling drinks again, because...
And
I was like, well, at least I wasn't as bad... I mean, at least I wasn't like Jeremiah, this dude we used to know, who was just, like, deliberately filthy.
but
I
the
wouldn't,
funny
like,
thing
spill
is,
something and, like, not try to clean it up.
the funniest thing about Jeremiah was he was a filthy homeowner or renter, but
like, on his actual person?
he was overly clean.
Yeah,
he
like,
was,
personal hygiene, he was really good about that.
like he presented himself well. He was well kept, but like this is the kind of guy that the last thing that happened before he moved out, and this is after like a long time of just him being freaking disgusting, right?
Yeah.
He came home drunk one day, and I was taking a shower or something, so the bathroom was occupied. So he threw up in the sink, right? Which
Wait, like while you were in the shower, he just stumbled right on in and decided to use that time to throw up?
Well, I mean, I like look, he had to throw up somewhere. I get it. It's not like he can hold it.
Okay.
I guess he could have gone outside or whatever, but he decided that the sink was a good. Well, it clogged the sink, and I think he tried to wash it down, but it was too chunky, so it literally just clogged the sink. And I came out of the bathroom with a sink full of undraining water, and I had a drunk roommate. So you're like, well, that's disgusting, and you're right, that is disgusting. What's even better is that at no point did he feel any obligation to clean it. He just left the sink clogged with his vomit. And at this point, I had enough, because I've always cleaned up after this dude. In fact, you cleaned up after this dude.
Yeah,
so
I tried
you
once
came
because
over-
even as a guest, I couldn't stand living in that for just 1 or 2 days at a time.
like, the floor was sticky.
The floor of the kitchen was so sticky, and so one morning when I was up before everybody else, I just tried doing like the putting some oomph behind it by doing like the only example I can think of, but I know I see it a lot of times, is like in Spirited Away, where her first day as one of the, what's the old lady's name? The old witch?
Baba or something.
Yubaba, something like that. Maybe something like that. It's been a long time since I saw it. Good movie, by the way, I think.
Studio Ghibli usually does good work.
Yeah. Like her first day on the job, like, dang, Sin, hadn't you like ever worked a day in your life? No, she's like a 10-year-old kid. That it doesn't work that way on planet Earth. So they were trying to do like the scrubbing down like long, very lengthy rooms, like using their whole weight behind, like on all fours, and putting their entire weight behind the cloth they're using to like sweep down the floor. That's how I tried it, hoping that would just getting my kind of entire body behind it like that would break the sticky surface, and I could get this kitchen floor clean, because I didn't like walking it. You stuck.
Seriously, walking on it sounded like you were walking like ripping, like you were ripping Velcro apart.
Yeah, it seriously did.
Like,
So yeah, and it was so daggum stick. It was so like hard to penetrate that when I tried doing like getting on all fours and doing a rundown, like running down the aisle kind of thing. I ended up flipping over myself. The floor resisted me that much. I flipped over myself, like over my hands. And that's how bad Jeremiah had let it go.
No, technically that's how bad I had let it go, because I was the one cleaning it, and it got to the point where I just could not.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
it.
I can understand that. You know,
like,
when you
I
just
gave
get
up.
Yeah.
So the day there was still vomit in the sink, clogged the sink, because, like I said, he felt no obligation to clean it. He just left it that way, and he expected either that's just the way that thing's going to exist from here on out, or Jay is going to clean it. That's what he, in his mind, had decided. This is the same guy,
like
however.
You didn't have to do it for long, because then your parents are like, just why have we even put you in an apartment? Just live directly in the dorms,
Camp.
right?
Well, they didn't have dorms at the time. They didn't.
Oh, that was it. Okay.
But once they
But
were
it was like
open-
Jeremiah moved in with you because his family kicked him out. He had an argument with his family or something.
Gee, maybe because he was.
Maybe it was because of that. I don't know. Maybe because of just.
But and you know, you're like, so this guy. But the thing is, in public, he presented himself as a very like clean dude. And that's what. But this is great. This
like
is
he himself was quite well kept. But when it came to property.
Oh, and speaking of property, so I didn't talk to anybody about this. He asked me, and I just did it because we were friends, and friends help each other out. He wanted to get a laptop, but
Oh no, you told me about that.
yeah, well, I don't know if I told them about that. So he wanted a laptop, but for some, I don't know where he was buying this laptop. Where thinking about it now, this is crazy, but wherever he was trying to get this laptop, he needed someone to co-sign to buy this laptop. And I'm trying to think, is that a thing? Do people have to co-sign for a stupid laptop? A car, sure. A house, absolutely. A yacht, a boat, a vehicle, something that requires like tens of thousands of dollars. I can understand needing a co-signer for insurance purposes. But a laptop? But anyways, he needed a laptop, and for some reason, they wanted a co-signer. And me, being a dumbass, was like, oh, of course, I'm going to help a friend out. This is what he needs. I'm going to do it. So I did. And guess what? He promptly stopped paying for it. It defaulted to me. And for like 2 or 3 years, I was getting phone calls from collection agencies trying to get the money, which, by the way, has the interest has accrued more than the laptop was even worth. It was like a $800 laptop, and I think the claim now was like for $1,500–$1,600. And
how expensive was that laptop in the first place?
I don't know.
Because I think even a real, you know, like up-to-date one, like best operating system, best, you know, processor and everything so far would be only about that much today, right?
No, not today. But
maybe more like $2,000 for a brand new laptop.
Especially since the cost of changes. Hey, don't worry about it. It's like semantics. But the thing is, like, I was a broke college student. I couldn't handle this debt, but Jeremiah got out of this free. Like, it got to the point where I did not know what to do. I had to break down and call Jeremiah's parents to let them know what had happened. And thank God, Jeremiah's parents were like, what, this is happening? This is going on? Give me the number to the collection agency, we'll take care of this. And they did. But guess what? The damage was done too late. My credit was ruined.
Yeah, your credit was...
And for 7 years, my credit was terrible. And apparently after 7 years, your credit resets to nothing. Which, by the way, affected me when I was trying to buy this house.
Oh, really?
Yes, because they would... All right.
I didn't know it could ever, like, just reset after so long.
If your credit stagnates for 7 years and nothing happens for 7 years, there's something about it resetting back, right? But if there was activity on my credit for that entire time, then it would have persisted. But because there was no activity whatsoever, it just defaults back to nothing, right? So when I tried to buy this house, the one we're currently sitting in, right? By the way, I discovered it. Would you like to pay me $220 for discovering this house? That you're
oh yeah.
But they wouldn't give me the banks I talked to wouldn't give me a loan on the house because I didn't have any credit. I couldn't be trusted. Like, I didn't have bad credit, I didn't have any credit, so I couldn't be trusted. The only way I could get this house is if I accepted a balloon loan. And the balloon...
Which, I tell you, man, from what you told me about how that works, that just sounds downright evil.
I didn't have a choice. And I'm glad I did it because the house market only got worse over time. Like, the house market right now is terrible. Like, you might read online how millennials have a hard time getting situated or getting anything. Like, you know, baby boomers and the older generations are like, why don't you just get a job? Why don't you just buy a house?
Pull
like,
up them bootstraps.
Pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
And it's probably a lot more difficult nowadays.
Yeah, because the market is awful right now. Houses are overpriced.
Or that's just like
interest...
one. That's just like one of many reasons, you know.
Yeah, the houses are overpriced. The interest rate is way too high. People can't buy houses, and I'm very lucky that I was able to get this house when I did because it's only gotten worse, right? So the way a balloon loan works is every 3 years you're forced to refinance, which means that you have to go through the paperwork of setting up a new loan. But the worst part about a balloon loan is that the interest rate adjusts to whatever the market is at the time.
Yeah.
Which, and you know, like I just mentioned, it's only getting worse. So what would happen is every 3 years, your interest rates would increase, right? To where it gets to the point where it's almost like a credit card and it just becomes not worth it anymore. It's just a money pit.
Yeah, you're like struggling just to make minimum payments, and that's barely taking care of the interest on itself. You're not really making headway.
So that was a loan, and that was the loan I was stuck with because my credit had reset because of what Jeremiah had done, right? So,
and I mean, I know we like forgave, and we were cool again.
Well, I mean,
it's just
at
like
that point in time, I wasn't trying to buy a house. I didn't need credit.
And we just after about another year or so, we just kind of naturally drifted away.
Probably for the best.
Yeah, probably.
But
yeah, he really screwed you up on that one.
Oh yeah. So here's the thing, right? To be able to get off that, so I accepted the balloon loan, which was a huge risk. Now it ended up working out in the end. Like, it was a good investment. I didn't know that at the time, and I knew it was a risk when wow, she's happy.
She is happy to find some gold.
She is on ecstasy.
Like, I think there is a verse or two in scripture somewhere talking about streets of gold in the new heavens and earth, and he basically just described it that way, so.
Yeah. But, so I needed to be able to get off the balloon loan.
Sorry. Calm down, Ika, you're embarrassing me. Like he's talking to a 5-year-old.
Well, I mean, she was acting like one.
Yeah. I like Ika, though.
But yeah, to get off the balloon loan, I needed to have good credit. I needed to prove I had good credit. But the thing is, I had no way to increase my credit. I have no credit cards. I had no loans on anything else like a vehicle or an object or anything. So I had no credit, and I had no way to increase my credit. So the only option...
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that. You just had to pay a heavy sum, like one time, just to get off of like, the kind of interest rate that just screws you in the ass.
Right. So,
just to get rid of that.
So the thing is...
You laid down like what, $5,000, something like that?
No, well, so here's the thing, right? To be able to get off the balloon loan, I needed credit, but I had no way to generate credit, so I had to get a credit card. Because I had spent my entire life without a credit card, right?
Right.
And I think credit cards are the devil. And I think it's also very ironic that to prove you're good with money...
You have to spend it.
You have to borrow it. That's what a credit card is. You're borrowing money. If you're having to borrow money...
I meant like, spending money,
well,
like using your card.
Well, spending somebody else's money.
Yeah.
That's the thing, though. That's the whole thing with credit, is that you're not spending your own money. You're spending someone else's money with the promise that you're going to pay it back. Right? That is not good money management. That is poor money management. If you have to borrow somebody else's money, then you are doing something wrong. Right?
Like, that's how most people would see it.
Right, but
because they're sane. But
that's
unfortunately,
the thing. That's how I had to prove that I was good with money, was by borrowing money. But here's the problem. It took me a long time to get a credit card because no credit card company would give me one because I had no credit. It was this catch-22. Like, I applied for a Amazon credit card. It was a Chase card, but I bought a lot of stuff from Amazon at the time, so... And you get, like, extra money. Like, the more stuff you buy on Amazon, they'll give you free money to spend on other stuff. Right. So, like... And this is after I've already tried a bunch of other places that turned me down. So I applied for one and get the Amazon Chase card. And I got denied for that, too. And at this point, I was just about out of options. I ended up calling a Chase representative, telling them my situation. And I was like, look, this is the situation I'm in. This is what happened to my credit originally. This is how long it's been since then. My credits is defaulted back to 0. I need a credit card to prove that so I can get off this loan. I swear I am better with money than majority of the people you've already given cards.
Yeah.
Like,
I swear, this is not as bad as it looks. I'm actually...
no, I actually did tell her, the representative, that I'm like, I am better with money than the majority of people you give cards. And after talking with her, she actually gave me a card. And so, after using the card for a while and building my credit, I was able to get off the balloon loan, and the interest rate did not increase that dramatically when I had the balloon loan had to first refinance. Yeah. So I basically slid into home plate like at the last minute. I was able to get the fixed loan that does not adjust every 3 years.
Give me strength.
And that's
it's not like interest isn't basically just evil as it is, but like the balloon type loan, from how you describe it, that's just wrong.
That's set up to screw you. That it's set up to screw you. And the worst part is,
like, dude,
at least a millennial that's having a hard time finding a house now can just decide I'm just gonna rent. But the thing is, I was already
generally what I do.
Yeah, like I was in the loan. Like there wasn't getting out of it unless I sold the house, and it was a scary situation. And that's how you go from barfing in a sink to managing a mortgage. Da-da-da-ba-da-da.
Yeah, that story did kind of connect from one point to another. Okay. Zachary, we're good on that.
But the thing is, I think one of the reasons I was mostly okay is, as you guys know, I live in El Dorado, Arkansas, and it's a pretty podunk town. So the cost of living here is incredibly low.
Dude, you hadn't seen podunk till you've been to the eastern Oklahoma like I had.
Right. I just meant that,
and I intend to never go back.
I'm just saying it's not a big town like New York or Houston or something like that. It's kind of a middle of nowhere kind of place, so the cost of living is incredibly low.
Not New York, Vancouver.
What?
A reference to the kind of the joke about how they tried to pretend it was Manhattan when they filmed Jason Takes Manhattan, and it's actually Vancouver.
Oh.
And that was brought up in the Cinema Snob movie last night too.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so where's the inn again? Just want to get healed up.
Well, guys, get ready for another 15 minutes.
Actually, you know what? It's not worth it. It's not worth it. I'll just go in. Already, just go off my supplies that I have. Not go in fresh. It's not worth it trying to run around here. It's not. You're right. I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you basically made fun of me and brought it to my attention that I'm gonna be running around here forever.
Oh man!
Once again, menu button is square.
That is an Xbox 360 controller. Is
X. Map button is Y.
Do you want to go in and remap those?
No, because I'm suddenly going to do it the other way around anyway. Just somehow, some way, it'll happen like that. If I start hearing the warning sound when I approach that ship, I'll dodge it, but I'm kind of curious to see who it is.
Moons,
But yeah, my
give me
mortgage
strength.
is around like $500, which a month, which is nothing. Like compared to
Yeah.
what people pay in rent, that is literally nothing.
Is that the minimum you have to pay, or
Five-
had you been like doing
It's
like
$550, around $550.
the minimum you have to pay is $550?
That's my mortgage. But the thing is, like, very little of that goes towards the actual loan. A lot of it's, most of it's interest. Most
And that's
of
what's
it's
bullcrap, man. It's like you're barely even making headway on paying for the house itself.
Basically, what I'm doing is I'm paying rent that eventually will stop.
Eventually.
Yeah, it's rent that will eventually stop.
Okay, we have 2 moonberries again, so let's see what we can do with that. To damage
Possibly
and possibly stone a
stone?
single enemy. I remember that, that was probably kind of worthless, but I mean, let's see.
All
what,
right, who are the you're gonna use? So
let's see what Drachma can do.
Well, here's the thing. I wouldn't invest.
Drachma's gonna be with us for a while, regardless.
Yeah.
So, doubling his spirit points and defend. Wait, I can just drastically. Because I mean, whatever his spirit points are, that's everybody's. Everybody uses it. I don't know why they said it like it's some kind of individual thing
Doubling.
that works for him alone. That sounds awesome.
I don't. There's got to be a caveat. I think you might be understanding that wrong, but give it a shot.
Is that how you pronounce that?
A caveat? What
Yeah.
did you used to say?
Kavit. I was sure it was wrong. Don't get me wrong, but I never looked it up. So.
Caveat.
Oh,
That-
come on, that's totally how it's spelled.
Yeah, maybe that's the caveat between the champagne that I usually bring along with my bologna.
Oh, who's that?
That's a ship. That is a ship.
That's one of their crazy ships. Okay, it was just south of this landmass, I remember that. Here we are. Now please let me be able to simply go in from any point.
Yeah, too bad you're gonna have to do a random encounter, but damn.
Oh, you're wanting it,
Oh,
weren't you?
oh yeah, I wanted it.
I like how they don't even have any Empire ships guarding the place. It's just everybody's on the inside. So they have no idea when, and I can just run right past the gates, so they'll never see me.
Paying attention.
Alright, let's get everybody fully
Jiggy
healed up.
with it. Too bad we couldn't find the inn in town.
No. Getting jiggy with it. Actually, wasn't that a Will Smith song?
It was.
And usually I hate him, but the song's, it's catchy. I ain't gonna lie. I really can't think of anything else that I didn't hate from him, though. Like, remember the turn around, now switch. Turn over, now hit it. Turn around, now switch. Oh la la la. Something like that. You know that song?
Yeah, well, you know me, not a fan of hip hop. I
Or what he
think
called hip hop.
rap, hip hop, whatever you want to call it. Like, I think the best way to describe my opinion of the genre is all you have to do is look at sheet music. Like, look at some, like, I prefer stuff like alternative rock or something like that.
Right.
Things like trap, Breaking Benjamin, that kind of stuff. I'm a big fan of those guys, right? And if you look at sheet music, you'll see that there are varying notes. There's a change when they're singing. Their notes will rise and lower. But in rap or hip hop,
I know
it's-
you're trying to
it's-
talk about this from the perspective of somebody who can't read music.
yeah, I can't. Absolutely not.
So, I mean, it's cool. I
I
know,
don't know
I know
that-
what you're saying.
I don't know the difference between what an A note is and a G note is. One is probably, I would assume A is higher since it's higher in the alphabet. I don't know if that's how that works, but
G is higher in the alphabet.
see, that shows.
But if you're
that
talking,
just so-
but that depends on on the scale, which A note you're talking about. A, B, C, D, G. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Why'd I skip F? Anyway.
like,
And then it's like A, B, C, D, E, F, G again. It's just like there's a high A, there's a low A. There's...
yeah, see, SK knows how to read music. I do not. But anyways, what I'm trying
Yeah, you can see me try to read music if you go to my YouTube channel and look up my version of Oh Holy Night. I guess if you type that in on my channel, that should be the only video that shows up. That was me trying to read off a treble clef, and which is not what the violist uses, but I'm playing off a viola. I don't play the violin, I play the viola. And in a key of 5 sharps. I don't even know what the name of that key is, so I don't know that much as I should about reading music.
At this point, you're not even speaking English to me.
Not... Was it 5 sharps? It was either 5 sharps or 5 flats, and it sucked. That is hard. That is too hard for somebody with only 3 years studying in school and hasn't taken a class on that or been in an orchestra or anything since. Just plays it extremely casually, very rarely. That's actually the fact that I was even able to get through that was something, but it still sounds pretty bad. But hey, you can watch it.
Yeah.
Search for Oh Holy Night on my YouTube channel.
But I guess what I'm getting at ultimately is that there is a melody with music, right? But with rap and hip hop, it's all like the same note. Like if you think about a line in rap or hip hop, it's like let's just take Getting Jiggy With It for example. Getting Jiggy With It. It's all the same note. It's a monotone. There's no change, and I think...
there barely is. I mean, just the sheet music will look a lot more boring is where we're ultimately getting at for that song, as opposed to most stuff like in alternative rock or just stuff where it seems like they try.
Right, like
or they at least
it's very monotone in the notes that they produce, but it's also really mundane in the lyrics, like. Yeah. Like it's either basically
it just as the background, not the melody, but the and repeat.
You loop that forever.
Yep.
But
although
also,
that kind of like beat in the background would be true of a lot of songs. I'm not
right,
gonna lie.
right.
But when combined with a monotonous melody in the first place,
with monotonous lyrics,
yeah.
And monotonous,
especially the lyrics, just so petty, trivial, and most of all, monotonous.
It seems like a very low-hanging fruit when it comes to effort, I guess. It seems like I don't know what it's like to make music. I don't know how hard it is, and I'm probably really underestimating the amount it takes even to make something like hip hop, right?
Yeah.
I'm completely admit that, but from someone with little music experience,
but you can't help how it sounds to you,
right?
And you're not exactly wrong. Okay, I mean, yeah, there is more to it than how you're seeing it, but nevertheless.
But to me, it just sounds like people that are just talking to a beat, basically. It's not singing.
Oh, you want to know talking to a beat if you can even call it a beat?
Yeah?
Remember the Chainsmokers selfie song? Let me take a selfie, and then just electronic dance music, and not even good for EDM. Goes on for another minute, and is then just more talking. This shallow Valley Girl type.
What genre is Chainsmokers anyways?
I guess I call that club music.
Well,
that's the kind of crap you'll hear in a club.
Whatever it is, it's garbage.
And then just in the back, while she's talking, the really only music going on in the background then it's just
bass drop.
Let me take a selfie. While she's talking. Just talking, not singing, talking. I'm guessing that's how it was intended, but you can't call that music. You can't.
Well, technically, you can call it music if you want.
I guess.
You could create a very broad definition. So here's another
kind of like how you can call just about anything
now,
art, as long as it is an expression of yourself.
So
in the form of on any kind of visual or auditory medium, you can call it art.
Yep. That's it.
It could be pretentious as hell and make everybody groan and vomit, but you
I mean, you could
But
still
if
call
you
it-
were expressing yourself, your sad, worthless self,
but
you can call it art. I won't stop you. Oh wow, those.
Well, or can't. You can't. Like, and here's another thing, and this isn't just about hip hop. I think it's more prevalent in hip hop, but this covers pretty much all music, and this is it's something I consider really irritating. Now, and I understand that people trying to sing a song are trying to sometimes tell a story or have a theme or something, right? So they need to make lines work, right?
Right.
But
That was easy.
in most music, you're trying to rhyme things, right? Especially in hip hop, you know, it's all about flow or the hook or whatever, right? And majority of the time, shit doesn't rhyme. It doesn't.
Or it's like, you could at least try to come up with something that sounds more intelligent than what you did, even if it's not gonna rhyme.
But here's the thing, right? They'll
If you're
argue...
trying to truly tell any
Now,
kind of story.
here's the thing. People will argue, many people argue, that it does rhyme, right? But it's like they're using, like, they'll say a word rhymes with itself. No.
Did you just rhyme up with up?
Yeah. Does mouse rhyme with mouse? No, it's the same word! But, the thing is, what they'll use... Now, you've taken English before. In high school and college, so you tell me if this is a thing.
And in the form of 2 very expensive tests, just as a requirement to
Yeah.
move to Canada, to prove I can read, write, hear, and talk in English.
And spent over $400 doing it. But,
Sure did.
have you ever heard of a slant rhyme?
I mean, I've heard, but I never, like, looked up what it was.
It's basically words that sound the same, but they don't rhyme.
Okay.
Now-
I mean, and that can work.
Yeah, it
So
does,
that's what the slant rhyme is. Okay,
That's
but
what a slant,
I know exactly what you're talking
I
about.
honestly think that's not an English term. That's a music term. Like, for specifically in the instances of lyrics. Like, it's a slant rhyme. And
Wow,
so
I tried
there-
to poison a looper. That was smart.
Yeah.
And machines.
Yeah, poison the machine.
I just wanted to see what Noxus would do.
Well, you got your answer. But here's the thing, this actually got to be like a debate in a Mac conversation once. Is a slant rhyme a rhyme?
Is it a true rhyme?
Right. But no, not is it a true rhyme. Does it rhyme? Does a slant rhyme rhyme? Would you say a slant rhyme rhymes? Or a slant rhyme does not rhyme?
I don't know. I really don't know how I would answer that. Let's just say from what I remember off the top of my head, just in general, very vague. Of course, I can't think of all the examples in the world, but, you know, I can't think of any to say right at this moment. I usually don't have a problem with it. It doesn't, like, sound bad.
It to me it kind of depends on it depends on the discrepancy of the slant rhyme, how badly it's like.
How different.
Are you trying, like, what word? And the funny thing is, I can't think of examples off the top of my head, but I'm sure if I was, like, listening to the song, I could be able to pick some out.
Right.
But I'm of the opinion, no, a slant rhyme is not a rhyme. It's a slant rhyme.
Okay.
It's a word that does not rhyme. It sounds
But maybe
similar.
comes close to it.
Maybe it's close to rhyming,
But no
but
cigar.
not really.
No cigar.
Hence the definition it's given. And I think, I guess going back to, like, hip hop.
Okay, just taking this in right quick. I don't remember there being traps in this mine. I remember there being, like, a storyline when you fight the boss. You wind up in a room where the walls are closing in or some bull crap. And that was the only trap I remember, but obviously there is. Saying there's trapdoors all over the place in this circle. That's obviously a hint to somewhere. If I see a circle, don't think it's a good sign. Maybe as opposed to an X. I see somewhere.
Yeah. But yeah, and honestly, I like this entire conversation. It's not to step on anybody's toes. This is a personal opinion. I recognize rap and hip hop as a legitimate form of music. It's just my preference.
I don't.
Okay, well there you go. Send your ire towards SK, not me. He said it.
Okay, back to my original. I thought since they were machines in the last battle that maybe electricity, yellow might be weak against. I didn't really.
Wouldn't that just power them up? Isn't that their
Well,
lifeblood?
a lot of times though, machines are weak to like thunderbolt kindish magic.
Yeah, because you can rationalize it either way. It's like, yeah, that's basically what machines require to function, but you know, it's also like overpowering it, shorting it out. You know.
Yeah, you don't want to introduce electrocution to a machine from the outside.
Though in a fantasy setting, a machine would probably get healed by getting more juice. You know. That's how you want to look at it.
I don't know, he says he's a terrible critic of music, but I guess in comparison to us, I think Todd in the Shadows can describe better like the musical terminology and everything, what makes a song bad.
Look, this entire conversation we just had, I am floundering because I have no idea what I'm talking about when it comes to like the nuances of music, you know?
That's why I like listening to him a lot about why a pop song is bad or why it's actually acceptable. Because he can kind of get...
He knows...
Even he said he's terrible one time. I guess, I mean, who's he comparing himself to, though? Compared to us, I like the way he will, you know, he says it a lot more understandably. Gets into the nitty-gritty of, you know, what makes a song good, what makes a song bad. And I don't always agree with his opinion, for whatever reason. He actually liked the Black Eyed Peas song that I Got a Feeling. Ooh. I didn't watch the review on that because I didn't want to, where he might have actually given it compliments. He's just said it at other times. But hey, as long as he says all these other Black Eyed Peas songs, it's obvious, yeah, I totally understand why they get hate. will.i.am is an idiot. He said that too. I'm down with it, so...
But yeah, going back to, you know, rap and hip hop, like that's why. And
I don't even think we're officially getting it right. What would officially makes something hip hop or rap? Because I barely even distinguish between the two, but there obviously is. I almost just call it as a disparaging term now.
What, rap or hip hop?
Both of them.
Oh, I mean, it's.
But of course, there is a certain definition to them.
Well, of course you don't like it. You're just some stuck-up white boy. You don't know blah blah blah. You don't have a preference.
Well, you can also be the opposite, trying to be a white boy who was sticking up for the black community and getting offended for them when somebody else disses their music or some other aspect of their culture.
Right. That is stuff I'm not like. I'm not gonna walk on those eggshells.
That's what he was talking
doesn't
about.
Always mean, yeah.
So if you hadn't talked to that dude, you'd be like, okay, wait, why am I getting a bad result here? Walking on the circle, like, which one am I supposed to walk across? Uh-oh, in the back.
But yeah, like let's take Kanye West for example, because he seems to be like a hot topic for this kind of stuff. Because I don't think anybody can or will defend the fact that he's kind of a dumbass, right? Like he's
just a douchebag.
And
just generally a douchebag. Because he sounds like an idiot sometimes. He's also extremely arrogant. Just kind of a whole lot of qualities together that you can kind of put under the same general heading of douchebag.
But the thing, the reason I'm bringing up him specifically,
I like that rocket fist that Trackman does for fun.
The reason I'm bringing him up specifically is like people be like, it's fine because he makes amazing music, right?
Yeah.
I can't see it. I don't see it. It's like, and especially when this guy talks about like some of the weirdest crap, right? Like Well, there was that one song he did with Katy Perry where like one of the lines was him just shouting into
Alien sex.
You know, like,
So tell me what's next. Alien sex. It was actually sounding more like a question.
Yeah.
The inflection.
that, like, it's that kind of stuff. Or
Okay,
like, the fact he doesn't know what the difference between suicide doors and going doors are in a car. Like, he's talking about how cool his car is or whatever. Which, you know.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Well, all right, suicide door. So, all right, he wanted to talk about how cool his car is because it opened up like his doors opened up like the Back to the Future car, right?
Cool.
Those doors.
And of course, with these walking controls,
Yeah.
it's kind of.
So those are going doors because they open up like wings, right? But in his music, he called those suicide doors. Suicide doors are doors that open backwards. Like
Why they call them suicide doors?
because I think, I don't know the exact reason, but I think the reason might be because whenever you open up a car door to step out, like if something were to like hit your door, it would just close back. But if it's opening the wrong way, it would just rip open from a head-on collision and just take you with it.
Okay.
I think. I don't know. I'm not, but I at least know the difference between the two types of doors. But and I guess that's another thing. Every music genre has a problem. There's like, they fall into tropes of what they sing about. Country music likes to talk about getting drunk at a bar, their wife leaving them, their truck breaking down, going mudding.
Well, I mean, it's something you probably didn't notice, and you wouldn't until he actually like says it, and then you're like, oh, yeah, totally, I totally get this. John the Shadow's talking about how it's become more like bro country, where there's some unholy union between songs, like pop songs where men just basically brag about what douchebags they are,
Yeah.
womanizing and everything, and it's been merged with country music singers will try to pretend they're those kind of guys now, but put it more in the vein of a country song with the twang and everything.
I hate the twang.
Think of, like, for instance, that friggin' "Baby You a Song, You Make Me Wanna Roll My," whatever that song's called.
Don't know. Don't care. Don't listen to it.
Cruise? I mean, just Cruise.
But yeah, country music I value about as much as rap and hip hop as well. Like I can't
It's just
stand the
annoying.
twang. It sounds so ridiculous.
God, I heard that at... No, I didn't hear it at Albemarle a lot. I just remember one time when I was at Albemarle, it was when I was sitting in the office waiting to be called in, because that's when they were giving me the letting you go speech. That one song that was playing there, I'm a God-fearing, hard-working combine driver, digging up dirt with my plower.
Oh,
Dude, that's like the same kind of stupid as we talked about, like Lady Gaga's kind of way with lyrics. That one where I live for the applause, I live for the applause.
the applause.
Doesn't even repeat the whole word over, just one syllable of it. Applause. There's another one that Maroon 5 does. Do you like them?
I like their older stuff. Their newer stuff I like.
Yeah.
Like the 90s Maroon 5, or yeah, I think it was 90s. But
I guess I would
their
say
modern
generally
stuff is-
I agree with that. I can't really like pinpoint any song right now that I'd say, suck or are good. But one thing you can make fun of, that "Baby, I'm praying on you tonight." Like just like
I haven't heard
animals,
that one.
like animals, moles.
What?
He basically, like, if you watch the video, he tries to make Leatherface sexy. That's basically what it is. It's kind of like a gory horror kind of video, but he's singing about sex.
Great.
You'll see like a lot of, macabre vision stuff and blood and stuff in the video, but it's like, how are you making this supposed to sound sexy? And most of it takes place in like the slaughterhouse looking thing where there's meat hanging on hooks and stuff, and I think he was wearing an apron. It's like,
So he was legit.
sexy Leatherface
So no
from the
kidding,
Texas
it was-
Chainsaw Massacre. Just like animals, moles. He even does like a wolf howl, like, oh, as kind of like a punchline, the hook. in one part of the song. It's crazy, dude. You gotta hear.
I don't gotta. No, I don't gotta.
Okay.
I mean,
But yeah, it definitely like one of the older
Oh, what we got?
songs that we.
Yeah. It's just, but the funny thing is, I think most music I'm not really a big fan of anymore, but it makes me feel like this is what happens to people when they get old, and it seems they just, these kids with their music, you know?
Of course you can.
It seems like
Being more cynical about stuff, it just in general, you can kind of liken that to just, becoming an old curmudgeon-y.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Right,
that's
who
kind of
just-
what it feels like,
Who
you know?
just, he can't accept anything. Just be happy with being entertained anymore.
What if that's the case? What if hip-hop? What if country? What if, like, pop? Like, what if the stuff is actually, like, perceived and is good, and we're just getting old?
Well, sure, people perceive it as good. Did you mean objectively?
Yeah, I think I mean objectively good. It's just that we're getting
Like,
old.
if you really tried to review it from terms of a genuinely objective and all knowledgeable music critic,
Maybe.
I sincerely doubt it.
I mean, I do too. Of course I do, because I don't like it, but I'm trying to be open or entertaining the idea.
All I know is it's obnoxious to hear. I don't want to hear it. It's not music to me, then.
Or what was that one song? The girl was like, she says "were" like several times instead of "work."
Oh my gosh! And Mayella,
Is it over already?
I got the annoying little sister figure I always wanted working at Dr. Pepper. That was Mayella, a little Hispanic girl who's about 10 years younger than me. She played that song on purpose, just to piss me off.
All right.
Rihanna. Wire, 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 whatever she says in the meantime there, because it's real fast talking. Wire, 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 yar, 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 dar, 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 dar. Literally, like, just sounding retarded. Why is that good? That's not a good song.
I don't think that, like,
I don't think Mayella actually even really thought it was great herself. She just did it just because maybe she was like a Rihanna fan in general, and if she knows this pisses me off, then it's tolerable enough for her to hear, just as long as she knows it gets on my nerves.
that, or she legitimately liked it. Like, see, there's a character again.
Possibly.
Like,
I don't think I ever actually
I've
asked.
heard people defend that song and defend like the accent she's using when singing it. Like, say, like, all you have to do is enunciate. Like, Rihanna doesn't. She doesn't have an accent.
She's
She
just
doesn't
like
have
slurring
that
her words
accent.
and starting to sound like she's having a stroke.
It's done on purpose because she
Or
does
just
not
going,
talk like that.
just going full on retard. No, retard. See, that's how if retard were a word in that song,
That's the way
she would say it something like retard,
Oh, yeah.
or not even get the D sound at the end. Just kind of break off in the middle of the word, like with work,
So-
wire, 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 wire,
So here's the thing.
dar, dar,
right?
dar, dar, dar.
Like,
I Oh my god, guys, you know what song we're talking about, right? Surely you know. The work, 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 work song by Rihanna. I think it's just called Work, I don't know.
maybe.
But I've heard it more than enough times. I know I'm giving a fair judgment. It's not a song. That is not smart. It's not pleasant to hear.
See,
That
like,
was not good.
Once again,
What I just now
you
did.
can just call it is a song. Like as much as I'd like to argue that it's not music.
Well, a
it
studio
is.
recorded it, slapped it on an album, it made her money.
It
Somehow,
is-
somebody.
it is
Even though
music.
I think, just hearing around more from my perspective, more people hated it, thought it was retarded. Then were like, oh hey, it's just Rihanna. She's cool.
Right, but here's the thing, right? Let's say that for whatever reason she actually does have that accent, and that's just the way she speaks, right? Let's assume that's reality. You'd be like, you can't make fun of that because that's the way she speaks. Like, that's the way it sounds. But here's the thing.
Well, then you shouldn't be a singer. Then if that is your,
but
if you have a genuine speech impediment like that.
But at the end of 25 damage, good job, Fina. But at the end of the day, right? At the end result, the end product, it still sounds weird. You're saying W-O-R repeatedly, over and over
Maybe
again.
more like W-U-R, wor,
Yeah.
without the K, kind of.
People...
Because if you just say W-O-R, then I'm thinking war.
War, yeah, it were. But I don't get it. Like, it sounds awful. Like, I don't know, man. It's
Not good.
I'm just
I don't like it.
chalk it up to being an old curmudgeon that doesn't like these modern musics.
You can see yourself that way, I mean, but you're not incorrect. That's all that matters.
You know?
How do you miss this giant piece of metal that doesn't even look like it can walk on its own? It's got like
It's got like
lead
landing gear.
sled feet. That could really do some damage. Just make sure I hit him with that.
Here goes.
Here
Come
goes.
on! Critical, thank you, it's done.
I guess that's one of those things where you have like a certain threshold before you do normal damage. You know what kind of enemy I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It comes up in RPGs every now and then.
Guard or
Because
something.
with a critical, I think it did normally what it would, but before that he has like, he can shield almost perfectly against a certain
you're going
amount
down
of damage.
again.
Yeah, there's really no way off.
Nope, you're going down again. Wherever you fell, it really was a bad one. Oh no.
Actually,
How
that
far
might-
back is this putting you?
Oh god.
This puts you...
This is back in this room where the dude gave me the hint. And now as I'm walking back by him, he probably looks over his shoulder.
It's like, well, what'd I tell you?
I told you so.
I think it was designed
Try
that
again,
way.
asswipe.
I think that's why he was put in there. Like, if you didn't talk to him, you would have to run across him.
Yeah.
At this point.
And I think the camera stopped on its own for a second. And Vyse is like, looking at this again. Let's be more careful this time. That's where the X is. We know not to step on O's.
Also, how music, like the genre of music, usually dictates what it is that the subject is always about. Like, country is about, you know, the southern living, and rap and hip hop is usually about how great the singer is. Like, the person singing is like, I've got this much money. I disrespect the police. I get this much sex. This is the car I drive, you know?
I pretty much shove it all under a vague heading of being in the club. You're drinking, you're bragging about how much money you got, you're trying to get laid there.
Yeah, pretty
That's
much.
what it all amounts to.
And of course, that's not 100% always the case.
Okay,
but
I
it
really
seems to
haven't
be-
been paying attention to anybody's HP for the past few battles.
Yeah, you might want to heal up, buddy.
Oh wow, for bats that hits pretty hard. And counter.
At least the audio...
When you see the text linger of attack, you know a counter's coming. Super dead.
Oh, he dead. He very dead. Also, do you have the feeling that people care way too much about TV shows and movies? Like, generally? Like, for me, it feels like that because I think I underappreciate TV shows and movies, like, more than a normal person. So to me, it feels
Yeah.
like people...
Well, see, yeah, there's just as big. You'll see just as big a movement against that kind of thing, the counterculture. Anything that's popular, you're only going to see the. You might call it a minority
Yeah.
in terms of number of people, but no,
Wow,
it's probably actually just as many people who are against it. And it might be just to be that, you know, I reject this kind of snobby, I'm too cool, I'm too smart for this kind of
not
thing.
following the mainstream.
But
is
hey,
really
and I
cool.
admit I totally am a part of that, you know, counter movement in on a lot of things.
I mean, I can admit that too.
I have no
degree,
problem
but
saying it.
But the thing is, it's not like a certain thing. It's like I don't like mainstream. I like I'm a hipster that likes the more underground stuff or the unpopular things. But I just think
Or
that,
the retro.
yeah, I'm more along the lines of I don't hold any of it to like some super high. this is amazing, or well, like it's all to me seems like people put way too much emphasis on it. Like, if you're not watching this TV show, what the fuck is wrong with you? Kind of culture, you know?
Yeah. Okay, I do know that on the left was what brought me forward into the next room, but I'm kind of curious as to what's down here now. I'll come back to that. Because that was no doubt the way forward. But what is this?
Shortcut? No, I bet it's a way out. Like, maybe when you retreat. But, yeah, I don't know. It's just that... I think it actually goes back when we were talking about people who care too much about spoilers. I think this is the same kind of sect of people that also hold TV shows and movies on incredibly high regard, you know? And it's a culture I don't understand, right? Like I mean, I'm a fan of the Marvel movies, but like I've not seen the new Ant-Man movie, and despite I think the first one's pretty good, like I don't have this overwhelming desire to go watch it. Like, even when Infinity War came out, like, I watched it. By the way, I'm never going to a release weekend movie showing ever again. People like to make sure that you have to be there opening night, the midnight showing. It has to happen, you know?
It's like, is that the only way to show your undying loyalty?
Yeah. No, man, it's the experience. You don't understand. Bubble, it's so important, but no.
Like, in that, you actually saw, at least from one person, so there may be others like him, in that, remember Angry Black Man videos on YouTube?
The Unforgivable dude?
No, not that one, the Angry Black Man. He was
The
like
other
real
one.
heavy set.
Oh, okay.
And
yeah.
he like the guy who made like, you know, exaggerating about how bad all these fast food restaurants and other things are.
Yeah.
And he like one of the things about KFC was like it was built. The walls are built out of the skulls of African slaves. And that one where he was just at Best Buy and he was filming people there on one of those, you know, like before Black Friday.
Yeah.
Everybody's camping out there since like midnight, or maybe even an entire day before. And he was just asking everybody, like, why are you here? Why are you doing this? What are you buying? What are you going to buy when they open up? One dude was there. He's like, I'm not going to buy anything. I'm just here for the atmosphere.
That is...
Why?
Retarded. But yeah, let me explain to you. So, to the people that are like, it's about the experience, right? Like, the smell of people's food that they bought, or the
smell of people,
the
smell of other people,
like the smell of food, like nachos and buttered popcorn, or listening to the crowd laugh at a joke and you're laughing together. It's about the experience, right? Well, here's my experience, right? I mean, those things are fine. It doesn't detract, and I don't think it really adds to the experience either. It's just what it is. It's that, right? But I went to Infinity War, not on the release date, but the release weekend, which was a horrible mistake. Because let me first explain. The theater was packed. Like, just... I'm not a big fan of being around a lot of people to begin with, but there's
not that many people actually are.
But the thing is, right, somebody decided it was a good idea to bring their baby.
Oh boy, of course.
Like, and I'm talking about a child that's not going to be able to understand and anything that's going on in the movie. It was clearly the parents wanting to enjoy a movie, but they did not, for whatever reason, get a babysitter. Either they couldn't find one, couldn't afford one, whatever. I don't care what the case is. But they decided that they were going to bring their child so they can experience the movie. And of course, you know that any baby is not going to want to...
Why was I doing that? Remember, off-screen, it was a glitch that I think they totally overlooked. Or not like a glitch, but a fault in the system. Off-screen, it costs 1 MP no matter what the spell is.
Oh.
Why not use the best healing spell
Yep.
to use as little MP as possible?
Yep.
In battle, it, of course, means a whole lot more because it takes a certain amount of spirit
Right.
points also.
But anyway, so the child was crying
Right.
off and on, which was annoying as shit. right? But then
No doubt.
on my here's my opinion of this. Like I'm gonna go back to the main point about the experience, but going back to people who thinks it's okay to bring babies to movies, first of all, you are wrong. You are absolutely wrong. I know you think, and I'm speaking directly to them, but I know you think that you deserve to be able to experience the movie just like everybody else. But here's the thing, you don't. And here, let me explain why. You decided that you wanted to be a parent.
That's
Once you
basically why I am against abortion. Like, for under like non-extenuating circumstances. You chose to have sex. You have a right to, but you know that a child can be conceived of it. It is your damn fault. Don't make others suffer.
For your decision.
And that's what you're doing when you're killing, you're aborting your kid.
All right.
No, I'm punishing you. I brought you into existence, but I chose not to take any. I choose not to take any responsibility.
I'll share my opinion on that in a bit, but I want to go back. So, once you decide that you are going to be a parent,
and
right?
no, I'm actually not conservative. I actually hate the religious right, people. So
Yeah.
I'm not. This is not political.
Once you decide that you're going to be a parent, you give up certain liberties by
yes,
doing
because
that.
you didn't have to. You chose to do that. Go that route.
And if you give up, and one of those liberties is that you now put that child before yourself, and you need to also consider what it's doing to others, because you have decided that despite the fact that you have decided to be a parent, you are going to potentially ruin the experiences of others around you, so you can selfishly experience something, right? Like the once you start negatively influencing others, despite your decision, that's where you're in the wrong.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're trying to say.
Like,
as a general rule,
you are wrong by doing that, right? And same for like another. There was a woman
Serves up
on
right.
on the row I was sitting on, and it was just a very gabby child that was just talking out loud, and she would shush him.
Gabby.
Really
Very gabby.
Yeah, and she would shush the dude, right? The little kid.
Right.
But it didn't do anything. Like, she was shushing and nothing was happening. Like,
just kept on talking.
Blah, 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 and she
I remember what you used to mock Adam.
Yeah.
She was like, shh, we're like in an apartment right now. We have to be quiet. We don't want to get in trouble. Okay, yeah. So blah 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 blah. That's how you.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's
his,
pretty much the same thing, except shushing was doing nothing.
Okay, did coming down this ladder achieve
Do nothing? No,
anything?
No. You are now on a single.
There could have been a moonfish or a cham down here.
Nope, nothing. But yeah. So so this child would not stop talking, and like I know I was like staring daggers at the mother several times, and I know she's
like maybe trying to get the point across.
Yeah, but it didn't do anything. And once again, like if you're like, I know the child wants to see the movie. Like, this was a child that was clearly old enough to recognize characters and know when something.
Oh, you're talking about the chatty child.
Yeah, the chatty
not
child.
the crying.
No, I'm talking about a child that's at least able to understand.
Right.
And then you would be able to provide the argument that doesn't this child deserve to see the film? Yes, sure. It's not a baby. It understands what's kind of happening. Might not be able to follow the story in detail, but when cool shit's happening, the kid is entertained, right?
Right.
It's actually absorbing and enjoying the content, right? And sure, yes, that child deserves to explore the content as it's intended. But I don't think it deserves that if it's going to once again disrupt others. Wait till it comes out on DVD, Netflix, something like that, and absorb that content at a later date when they're not going to be affecting the enjoyment of people who have paid to see this. Like, there needs to be some respect to other people. It's selfish otherwise.
Right.
And here's the thing, right? There's plenty of other instances are people talking loudly in the movie about what's going on. Seeing something?
Okay, I'm sorry. It's just this is the only...
Maybe you have to fall down somewhere? On purpose? Look how slowly I walk.
Yeah, and he's doing that on his own. There was always that weird drifting thing.
Yeah. I might actually have when I was using an older Xbox controller, I think that the dead zone was wonky. I might have actually set a dead zone that's... I need to, like, recenter the dead zone in the software. But, yeah. Basically what I'm getting at, coming all the way back, talking about these kind of people, you know, then there's people that kick your chair, talk loudly. There's just plenty of things that interrupt your enjoyment of the film. Those things happen more frequently than the camaraderie of experiencing a film with a crowd of people. Like, the good things, like, y'all laugh at
That's why
a
you
joke.
don't want to be, like, part of something like
Or-
that.
or
Like, stuff like opening weekend.
Right. So...
Which makes total
to
freaking
the people that are like, I go to the movie for the experience, I'm saying that the experience is always worse than the good things it provides, because there's always someone there, especially opening day, because there's entitled people that believe that they should be able to go there and not affect, they don't care if they affect the experience for somebody else.
Right.
Those people exist. Those people are always going to be there. And that alone makes the whole the good experience null and void. Like, that's... Unless you're talking about, like, you're going to a theater where there's fewer people. It seems like the denser the crowd is, the more likely it's guaranteed that there's going to be somewhere that's going
that's
to
just like
make the experience...
by the laws of mathematical probability.
Yeah. So, no, the experience is better the fewer people.
I liked our theater going experience when we watched The Exorcism of Emily Rose.
Yeah, see, that is an exception.
And that was one where
rare.
generally very well there were maybe a total of like 20 other people in the theater, if that.
Right. So that I'm saying that the experience, the people that rely use that as a crutch to why the movie experience is so important and so great. I don't see it, right?
Yay!
Wow, nice. Very good. Good job, Tina.
Glad everyone is okay.
Also, going back to the whole abortion thing, I generally agree with
Try
you.
dropping down here.
If you
It's like
if you have a child and you know it was just negligence, then I think you're forfeit to the right to an abortion. I think,
yeah, it's not cool. I'm sorry.
right, but
Because because you felt like having sex on in and of itself, it's cool, okay? It's a human thing to naturally like that's a thing you enjoy. You have a right to, you know, enjoy it, but you know what the risks are.
but
So don't make somebody else suffer for it when you F up.
is that a pun?
Well, it wasn't intended to be.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
I do understand the, you know,
Like the outlining circumstances. Like I believe that if there is like throughout the pregnancy, a doctor finds out that there is a potential risk to the mother's life. I think that
yeah, unfortunately that happens sometimes.
And it
I
does.
wouldn't encourage it, but I do understand.
If a
Let's
couple
say
decided
that.
they chose abortion to save the wife's life, I would accept it. That is fine to me. I think that
I'm just curious, why did you put her down as the wife? Like considering
well,
the context.
all right.
I mean, yeah, it's the same person, but I don't know
let me
why.
just give an example. If I were to find out that Rachel ended up pregnant, and then we found out that whatever the medical condition is, I don't know.
Why?
what
Last
it's
time I
called.
heard, you've been shooting blanks, dog.
Yeah,
I'm just
but
kidding.
but I'm
I
saying
don't-
in this scenario, like if I found out by a doctor that says if you go on with this pregnancy, there is a high probability that she was going to not survive the birthing process, I am perfectly fine saying no. the life of my wife.
I mean, you shouldn't take it lightly.
Yeah.
Like, no, it's definitely not easy. You shouldn't treat it as an easy decision to make.
Of course,
but it is understandable.
I would be willing to go through an abortion to save her life. Like, she is more important to me than an unborn child. I have history with her. I have spent I've dedicated my life to her, and I'm not sacrificing it for a child. Like, also, rape victims. If a woman is raped and she becomes pregnant because of it, she is relieved of all responsibility of that child. If she goes through an abortion, that is on the rapist's conscience, which I'm sure he doesn't care. Conscience. But I'm sure he doesn't give a shit. But like, if she decides to go through with it, she should not be faulted for it at all. That is on the head of the person doing the raping. So it's like most things when it comes to like political stances and like for or against abortion. It's a gray line. There are instances where and
nobody wants to take the middle ground, because one side will say, "Oh, well, then if you're not 100% for us, you're 100% against us."
But no.
So all Democrats are seen as pro-abortion, not pro-choice. Pro-abortion is in they actively like it.
Yeah,
like abortion, and then
the exact opposite.
The pro-life perspective, Democrats, the way they view Republicans as the baby must be born no matter what, and you don't care about what happens to anybody else, and then you won't care about that child later because you're against like government assistance and healthcare and stuff. Which is actually generally true.
Here's the thing, right? I don't identify with any political party. Like,
you shouldn't.
Like,
because they're both kind of crazy in some aspect.
I don't consider.
I just happen to make fun of Republicans more because it's easier to, but that doesn't mean I'm a Democrat.
Now, I'm sure these either center or right isn't the right way to go. Like, left seems to just always take you back. Maybe you need to deliberately.
Well, no, like I meant left path as in going on the left-hand side of this, but they all go to the same place, and that's where I got stuck. And down here was the door with the electronic lock that wasn't working. So I mean, actually, this is new, so maybe I was supposed to fall at this point.
That's what I was claiming.
Oh, I didn't know if that's what you were trying to say. Okay. Well, crap.
You know what? Maybe we need an episode break and we'll start recording again.
Yeah, we do, because we've been going on for
a
while.
So we'll come back once we know where we're going, for sure. Hey, look, a map.
All I had to do was press start. I don't know. Does that work on? Actually, does that work on the overworld too? Well, let's give it a shot.